Hi everyone, welcome to your Healthy Habits Yoga Flow. I'm Melissa. I am your teacher for this afternoon. We are here to move. This is a medium intensity class that is beginner friendly. And so if you are joining, I'm going to put the pin attendance. And you will need a yoga space, so like a mat, a towel, or some area that you can practice in. Optional to have a yoga block, a stack of books, maybe a chair if you want a little extra support. I typically practice with a block. You can get them at Target, which Amazon, or any of those places. Home Goods is another great place, but definitely not anything that is required, but just something if you like yoga, you can get these on sale. But again, books, a stack of books, a chair, anything to offer you extra support if that is something that you're wanting. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on our mats. So we'll come over and stand at the top of your mat. I lied. Let's start in child's pose. Come down onto all fours, your tabletop position, and bring your toes into touch, and bring your knees out to the wide edge of the mat, and then sink your hips back, stretch your hands out long. If you have a block or books, you feel free to release your forehead onto the ground, and we'll just take a moment to breathe, to get grounded into the space. You can grip the floor with your fingertips to stretch them out longer. With every inhale, extend the spine, lengthen it towards the front of your mat. With every exhale, sink your hips a little bit closer to your heels. And then take a moment, if there's an intention that you want to bring into class, something that you want to work out, feel free to think of that now. And maybe it's just grounding, maybe it's just movement, maybe it's release, peace, whatever it is. Find that one word or find that intention. Hold that in your mind as we move. And then we'll start with 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, let it fall. Again, inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, let it fall. Last time, deepest inhale. Inhale all the way through the nose. Open your mouth, let it fall. Let your breath return to its natural pace. Inhale to tabletop. Send your shoulders on top of your wrist parallel to the top of the mat. Knees about hips distance apart. Toes facing the back of the mat. We'll run through what's called cat-cow. So on your inhale, we'll drop our belly button to the ground, hug our shoulder blades together, tilt the tailbone towards the sky, look up. As we exhale, we'll reverse this. We press the floor away, dome the back, tuck the tailbone towards the ground, release the chin to your chest. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale to cat pose. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. We'll take a few more rounds of this on your own. And as you breathe, move with your own breath, finding your own cadence and rhythm. And feel free to add any other movement that feels nice to wake up your body. Maybe that's shifting your hips from the front into the back, or maybe that's wagging the tail from side to side, doing some head rolls, maybe flipping the wrist. Just feel free to explore what it is that your body is calling to, and sometimes you don't know until you explore. So we'll take this more for 4, 2, and 1. Meet in tabletop position. Tuck your toes under on your inhale, downward facing dog on your exhale. So you'll press into the ground with your hands. Send your hips up and back as you begin to extend through the knees. They can be nice and soft. They don't need to be straight. What's more important is we want a nice long line of energy from the crown of our head to our tailbone. So our back, that's what we want, nice and strong. Knees does not matter. Maybe pedal out your feet. And then grip the floor with your hands and press down into that space between your index finger and your thumb. We'll go ahead and find a little bit of stillness. Inhale, toes, heels to the sky. Exhale, heels to the ground. Inhale, toes to the sky, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Take as many steps as you need to walk your feet behind your wrists. When you get there, feel free to grab opposite elbows, sway side to side, release your head, neck, and shoulders. So we're bringing in a little bit of traction here, letting the weight of our head and our elbows lengthen out the upper back. And see if you can send your weight onto your toes to release any pressure in your lower back. All right, we can have nice soft knees here. It's really about the movement and the sensation, right? It's not, we want stability and mobility, strength and flexibility. We don't need to force ourselves into a position that is not serving us. Find a little bit of stillness. Take an inhale. Exhale, release your hands to the ground. Bend your knees, slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time, stacking your spine. We might get a little bit dizzy. That's okay. Keep your chin tucked. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe until the dizziness passes. You might not have gotten dizzy, which is great, but some people do, and just know that if you ever do, you can keep your chin tucked. Take some deep breaths before you raise your chin to level. We'll go through a few half sun salutations. So feet about right underneath our hip bones. So we want it about 2 fist distance apart. We call this like our neutral position. So we will inhale, hands to the sky. This is our mountain pose. Press your feet into the ground. Maybe lift up your toes. You can feel the corners of your feet grounded, the heels grounded. Tuck your tailbone slightly, right? So we don't want an arch. We want it nice. We want to lengthen the lower back. Reach the hands towards the sky and then roll the pinkies slightly in. So we can create some space between our shoulder blades. Take an inhale. As you exhale, we'll forward fold. We'll soften our knees, hinge at the hips. Hands can come into prayer or out to the side in your beautiful swan dive. We'll come as far as we feel is necessary for our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So our fingers can come to our shins, it can come to our thighs. It does not matter where they come as long as we're hugging our shoulder blades together. Bringing the tailbone towards the back wall and then lengthening through the crown of the head, right? So we don't want things to be rounded as if we are in cat. We almost want that cow position, right? So we're lifting our tailbone, hugging the shoulder blades together, almost as if you can balance something on my back. Take an inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, reverse your swan dive, flat back, brings you all the way to standing, hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that again, breath to movement. Inhale, hands to the sky, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold, soften your knees, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers to shins or thighs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, bring your hands all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's add on to that. Inhale, mountain pose, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, soften your knees, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Here's the change. Plant your hands on the ground. Inhale, low lunge. We'll step our right foot behind us. Our left knee is directly over our left ankle. Drop the back knee. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant your hands. Take your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, shift forward to your plank upper push-up, so our shoulders are on top of our wrists. Exhale, lower all the way to the ground, so you can do this on your knees. We'll exhale all the way to the ground, elbows directly behind us. As you inhale, slide your thumbs underneath your shoulders, lift your heart. So we call this our baby cobra. Exhale, forehead to mat. Inhale to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, low lunge, so we'll step in between our thumbs. Drop the back knee. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, lift your back knee. Press off your back foot to come into our forward fold. We'll do all of that on the other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Reverse your swan dive. Hands come to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left side. Inhale, hands to the sky, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Soften your knees, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers to shins or thigh, or chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, low lunge, left foot steps behind. Exhale, lower your back knee. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant your hand, step your foot behind you. Inhale, shift forward to your plank upper push-up. Exhale, this time lower halfway. We call this our chaturanga, our high to low plank. You can do this on your knees or in your plank. Inhale to up dog, toenails on the ground. Lift your heart, your hips, your knees. Engage your glutes so we can really protect our lower back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Drop your knees, send your hips to the sky. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step between your thumbs. Drop your back knee. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, press off your back foot, come into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, hands come all the way to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. So that is the end of our warm-up. Know that you have options, right? You can do your downward facing dog. You can do your lower all the way to the ground to your cobra. You can do your lower halfway, come into your up dog. Or you can just hold and breathe. Those are your options for flowing through the movement. I will remind you of what those are as we go. So from the top of the mat, inhale to chair. Sink your hips low, reach your hands up high. Weight is in the heels. Tailbone is nice and heavy to lengthen the lower back, right? We don't want to stick out our tushies. We want it nice and grounded so that we can lengthen the lower back. Inhale. Exhale, airplane your arms, hands to the sky. Inhale, mountain pose, hands come up, we extend through our knees. Exhale, forward fold, soften your knees, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, here are your options. We can step back into our downward facing dog and hold. You can shift forward into your plank upper push-up, lower all the way to the ground and inhale to your baby cobra. You can shift forward, lower halfway, and then inhale to your up dog. Or you can hold here and breathe. Those are your options. Take what's best for you. Do what it is that your body is calling for. Once we meet in downward facing dog, we'll inhale our right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step between your thumbs. Align your knee directly over your ankle. On your inhale, pivot your back foot down, windmill your arms up to warrior two. Knee is directly over the ankle, and it doesn't matter how much it bends, right? Doesn't matter as long as our knee is tracking over our ankle, pointing towards the middle toe. Take an inhale here. Exhale, extended side angle, elbow to thigh, left hand to the sky. See if, instead of like sinking, see if we can lift up and out. Really press down into the back foot to lengthen all through the side body and energize through the crown of the head, through the fingertips. And then spiral your right lung towards the sky. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach your right hand up and back as we continue to bend through our front leg. Our palm is facing backwards like we're high-fiving the back of the room. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, downward facing dog or high to low plank or any of your back bends. Cobra, up dog, whatever it is you need. And then once we have all come into downward facing dog, we'll do the left side. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Step between your thumbs, align your knee directly over your ankle. You might have to grab your foot or your ankle with your bottom hand. You can drop your knee and kind of help slide it forward before you lift your back knee. Inhale to warrior two. Pivot your back foot down, windmill your arms up into space. So our shoulders are stacked on top of our hips. We're gazing towards our middle finger. Breathing nice and strong and steady. Shoulders down and back. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle, elbow to thigh, right hand to the sky. See if we can roll the bottom shoulder down and back. And then really lift through the fingertips of the right hand so we're lifting up and out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach your left hand up and back. Then sinking through the front knee, reaching up like you're high-fiving the back of the room. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. You know what your options are. We'll take 3 breaths. Inhale to tippy toes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sink your hips low, reach your hands up high. Exhale, airplane your arms. Lift your pinkies high. See if we can activate our triceps. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach your hands forward and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And let's take a nice cleansing breath here. Inhale through the nose. Let it go. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Soften your knees, hinge at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Flow through your vinyasa or go straight to downward facing dog, your choice. Your vinyasas are your high to low planks, your up dogs and your cobras. That's how we call it vinyasa, right? We're flowing, we're linking. But we don't always need to do that if our body is not calling for it. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step between your thumbs. Inhale to crescent, so our back foot is nice and high. Arms come all the way up to the sky. See if we can engage our stomach to help with the balance. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, prayer twist. Send your elbow to the inside on top of or the outside of the thigh. We can also place a stack of books or a block and just come into an easy twist. Again, it does not matter which one we do. The idea is we're just giving a little bit of rotation to the spine, right? Sometimes as students, we are kind of sitting in the same position, so having this rotation is, feels kind of nice. Take an inhale. Exhale to runner's lunge. Plant your hands on the inside of your foot. Toe heel your foot to the outer edge of the mat, and then drop your back knee. So we can stay here. You can come down onto your elbows. Again, a nice block is sometimes really nice. We're stretching the inner thigh of the right leg, the hip flexor of the left. Inhale. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to elbow. So we're bringing our right knee to our right elbow. And drop your elbow down towards your wrist. Pivot your back foot down and lift your left hand to the sky. So supported side plank. You can stay here. You can hover your left foot. If you want a little bit of a heart opener, you can reach around, grab onto your foot, press your foot into your hand into your foot to open up your heart space. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step between your thumbs. Again, aligning your knee directly over your ankle. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach your hands to the sky. See that you can hug your hips towards each other. So we're bringing our right hip forward, our left hip back. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, find some lift and length. Exhale, prayer twist. So our elbow on the inside, on top of, or the outside. And then again, another variation. Placing your hand to the ground, onto a block, onto a stack of books, and just opening up the twist. Again, it doesn't matter what the pose looks like. What matters is what we're doing, right? Is it serving us? Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to the inside of your foot. Toe heel your left foot to the outside of the mat. Inhale. Exhale, drop your back knee. Untuck your toes. And we'll hold here in our runner's lunge. And then again, a stack of books or block It's kind of nice to place your hands on or your elbows. Just take a moment to breathe. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale. Slowly bring your hands back to underneath you. Take an inhale, tuck your back toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to elbow, shift forward to your plank of the push-up. And then lower your elbow to the ground. Pivot your back toes down, or reach your right hand towards the sky for your supported plank. Option to stay here, option to hover your foot off the ground. Option to bend your knee, reach back and grab onto your foot. Press your foot into your hand into your foot, opening up the heart space. Another variation of a back bend. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take an inhale here. Let it go. Inhale, drop down to your knees. Shift your hips to the side, swing your legs out in front of you. And then slowly lower yourself down to the ground. Release your hands down by the hips. Bring your feet in towards your tushy. Toes face the front of the mat. As you inhale, press your heels into the ground to lift your hips up high for your bridge pose. Option to stay here, option to tuck your back shoulders underneath you, grab onto the mat, or interlace your fingers underneath you. See if you can engage your glutes, your hamstrings, your inner and outer thighs. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower one vertebrae at a time. Windshield wiper your knees back and forth. We'll take that one more time. Feet flat on the ground, hands down by your side. Inhale, begin to lift. Continue to breathe as you rock your shoulders underneath. Maybe interlace your hands, maybe grab the outer edges of the mat. Engage the glutes, the thighs, the hamstrings. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower one vertebrae at a time. Toe heel your feet to the outer edge of the mat and let them sink in. Take a moment to scan your body and notice any shifts and changes. Notice what feels different from the beginning of class and what feels different, what feels the same. And toe heel your feet back to a neutral position. Cactus your arms. Bring your knees into your chest. Take an inhale. Exhale, release your knees over to the right. Maybe gaze to the left, or maybe just look to the sky. See if you can release your back, release your breath, release your jaw. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, release your knees over to the left. Release your right shoulder to the ground. Maybe gaze over the right shoulder. See if you can soften somewhere. Inhale, back through center. And bring your hands underneath your hamstrings. Rock and roll to a seat. We're actually going to end in a seated breath because some of us need to be awake and alert for the next part of our day. If you would like to take a Shavasana, please feel free to do that. So with our spine extended, any comfortable seated position, or maybe you're still on the ground, that's okay. Let the thoughts go, let the jaw go. Focus on the breath. Where do you feel it in your body? If you have time and space, feel free to stay here as long as you need to. For those who are ready to move on with the next part of their day, let's end with 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale through the nose. Let it go. Again, inhale through the nose. Let it go. Last time, deepest inhale. Inhale through the nose. Let it go. Thanks, y'all, for practicing with me this afternoon. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.